Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to what is another edition here of the Brilliantly Dumb Show. You have Mikey V, top left shelf. You have Joey D coming in hot as well. Mikey, that's great. You never know what Mikey's going to have on. That's a really, really just solid Thanksgiving sweater.
Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to all.
Would you agree with that, Peter? That's a nice sweater?
What is he
His crumb cake. He is crumb cake. Let me tell you
I've never seen somebody gloat over winning a top five.
You know what, Joe? Shut the fuck up, Joe.
The first
shut
one in 4 months.
Joe, shut up. Shut up. I didn't gloat at all. You fucking stood there, you scoffed, and you got fucking buried by everybody for the crumb cake.
You won
let it go.
one
Just
top
let it
five
go,
in
Joe.
4 months,
Let it
and
go.
it's
I
been
didn't gloat over
plastered
shit.
all
Crumb cake
over
on top.
social
Crumb
media.
cake on top, dog. Crumb
Bro,
cake on top.
this is why I, even though I love Mikey so much, I hope the Bears suck for the rest of your life.
Bro, I've been used to that for 38 years.
If there is ever a year where the Bears are good, he will be so insufferable, Bob.
Oh,
it will be impossible to live with. It really will.
It would be impossible to deal with.
The guy wins one top five in 4 months. I have to see everything littered, crumbs only. It's unbelievable, man.
I could have predicted this pretzel job from the beginning. The pretzel job was always going to be.
Only is now.
Mikey's going with this, where the bottom line was you can't just sit there and say, wow, you know what? I didn't realize how many people fucking love crumb cake. You can't say that. You just got to turn it into Mike's gloating.
You can't be a good winner, Michael.
Okay.
You got to come in with the crumb cake.
Yeah, I am going to come. By the way, crumb cake is fucking great. Great crumb cake.
But hold on, Mike. I will say though,
go ahead.
You don't think that when we come on the show, that I would have said to you you did a good top five, that I wouldn't have gone hand up.
We would have acknowledged it.
No, but I thought the crumb cake was a nice little play. I thought it was a nice play.
Correct.
I thought it was appropriate.
But you lean into it so much that it becomes almost insufferable.
How did I lean into it?
By the way, I was going to congratulate you on winning a top five.
But you couldn't do that, though. But you couldn't do that. You had to start with the jab. You had to throw the jab.
I said, I can't believe this guy came out with the crumb cake.
You can't help it. You can't help it. It's what you do. And that's what makes you you.
And
this is what makes me me. And that's why people love it.
But Mike, I will say, you got to give him the chance to say it stuff. He didn't get the chance.
Bobby came right out with a jab. I'm going to come back. I said no more.
You came with an uppercut.
I'm not going to play the nice guy anymore, Bob. I'm not going to be the nice guy anymore. I'm just not. I'm tired of it. I'm tired. I'm too tired. I'm tired, man. That's a big violin. It should be the small one. Goes like this.
No, you know what?
That's a big violin. That's a cello, dog.
We need a big violin.
That's a cello.
This guy is unbelievable, bro.
Morning pod.
Good thing he's getting sauced. Hey, Bob, good thing he's getting sauced.
Oh, sorry. Sorry for a little, Thanksgiving, little.
I actually like the sweater.
Thank you.
But Mikey, I there's not a doubt in my mind that when the top five, that I would have said to you that's a nice win. There's no question about it.
No, I appreciate that.
I would have absolutely tipped the cap.
You know what he does, Bob? He makes it seem like for weeks that he doesn't care about the top fives.
I do care about the top five. I just
don't win. Goodness, come on. And then he gets a top five win, and it's like the overzealous celebration of the top five when in context you haven't won one in a quarter of a year.
This guy's going to talk to me about being overzealous. This guy's going to talk to me about being overzealous. Really? Really, Joe? Joe, take a look in the fucking mirror, pal. Take a look in the fucking mirror. You want to talk overzealous?
I don't know if I'm overzealous.
I care about the top five dearly because it's part of the program. If I lose the top five, it is what it is. I already know I'm going up. I'm climbing up a hill because I'm a little older. My takes are a little bit older.
No, come on.
I'm not making
He's really leaning into that,
It is what it is. Okay. A lot of the things I talk about, people don't know. They're a little younger. They haven't experienced it. So maybe it broadens their horizons. Maybe it exposes them to new things.
I'm the same age as you, Mikey.
Yeah, but Joe, you're not, though. Maturity-wise, you're like 20 years behind, dog. I love you to death, but I mean, you're like 20 years behind.
I'm young at heart.
Huh?
I'm young at heart.
Very young, like Sinatra.
Yeah, sure. Johnny Blue Eyes.
Johnny Blue Eyes.
Yeah.
Who's Johnny Blue Eyes?
Isn't that what they called him?
Old Blue Eyes. Why would they call him Blue Eyes? Why would they call him Johnny? His name's Frank.
His name's Frank.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
That's a tough one for me.
Oh.
I will say I did not deserve the onslaught that you came out. This is a couple weeks now in a row where you come out just like a bat out of hell. I don't know
why, Joe, because you love to start the episode with a subtle little jab. And if you're going to do it, I'm all for it.
Last week I didn't. I asked you about the headset, which Bob did as well.
By the way, Joe, you know goddamn well about that headset. You have talked about that headset. You've made comments about that headset for the last 8-9 months.
Not a great headset.
Bullshitting. You're trying to bullshit. Like everyone's fucking stupid. And
I don't understand why Bob gets the pass to say something with no
because Bob lays in the weeds. He's such a weed layer. He's a snake in the grass. He
just
lays there.
Whoa, that's
this
a
guy's
ricochet
just coming
shot.
at everybody, man.
This guy's out for blood today, dude.
Mr. Nice Guy.
This guy is out for absolute blood today,
I'm done, guys. I'm done.
No.
I hope so.
I'm done.
Have some crumb cake.
Very good cake.
I do agree.
God.
Good cake.
That when you were losing, you act as in the top 5s. It is what it is for the show.
It is what it is.
But the second that you do win, which by the way, I was gonna tip the cap.
I'm sure you were.
That it's a parade and he's got memes going on. So all I'm saying, I think you underplay how much the top 5s do actually mean to you, and that when you're losing, it's this. Oh, I don't really care. But when you do win, 100. I'm being honest.
It's the truth, Mike.
I'm gonna say this. Can I just say one thing and then we'll move off of it?
No, it's good. Okay. Segment.
Here's what I'm gonna say.
Time.
Excuse me. Great crumb cake, by the way. Extra moist. Joe, stop scoffing at it. The reason that this particular top 5 was because when I said crumb cake, you both simultaneously looked at me and made me feel like I was a fucking idiot for taking crumb cake.
So there was a little. When I made a comment, what was the one that I gave the other day? Russell Peters. Yeah, that fucking scoffed at?
No, you
What's
were.
good for the goose is always good for the gander.
Had you won that top 5, you could have went off.
I wouldn't have leaned into it though in the same way that you do, is what I'm saying.
Well, the crumb cake was really slanderous. I felt it was very much slander. I really did. I thought that was an outrageous reaction from both of you, and I think the voting showed the same. And I feel as though I had to stand up for the crumb gang. That's all.
100%. We were wrong. We were wrong on it. I mean, it ended up being a good list. By the way, I thought I pieced together a good list. I got smoked. I might have. Did I come in last or did Joe come in last?
I don't know.
I think Joe. Who was list B? B was in second. Who went second?
Joe.
Whoever went
I was second.
Joe got second then.
I think I thought I had put together a good list. The crumb cake prevailed. Also, too, I think things around the crumb cake were really good as well, which helped it boom up. But you did
by the way, I will say Mikey had a really huge win this week. It was 60-something%, I think.
Mikey won this week?
I never would have known.
I never would have known by
Tucker. Newsflash. Beardown Cuz wins top 5
for the first time. It might be the first win of 2024.
Bone showed me a meme like with me with the crumb cake or whatever with the sorbet.
So great. Yeah.
And I said to him, I was laughing. I said, that's great. I said, a fan sent that. And he goes, no, Mikey.
No, I did.
I was like, oh.
Was it a pinata farm, Bob?
No, it wasn't. I did ask someone to send me the template of the Drake meme with Bob's faces because that was a lot of work. I couldn't do that. So someone did make that meme. But then I added the sorbet and the crumb cake.
Yeah,
it's good. It's good. A lot of engagement there.
I have no issue with that whatsoever.
There were some people who were saying in the comments that they were going to vote for Mikey regardless what his list is. And I will just say this. Regardless if it's Bob, if it's Mikey,
who said that?
Me, there were a couple comments. All I will say is this, is you should not be voting for someone just for the sake of voting for them at all. That ruins the integrity of the vote.
That's true. But Joe, you have to admit that I would say there has to be, we all would have to accept the fact, I think, that there is a percentile of our audience that automatically votes for whoever they want to vote for.
Regardless, I just
said, you don't think so, Bob?
No, I think to a degree, but I think it's
very slim. Very slim.
I think it's helped that we've taken the names off and we've just gone A, B, or C.
Yes.
That being said,
you got to be a pod watcher. You got to be a pod watcher.
Well, you got to be invested.
A pod listener.
That being said, I'm not just pointing you out, Mikey. I'm saying regardless, like if it's Bob, me, or you, whoever it is, you should not be voting for someone just because it's them. You should be voting.
That's true.
The integrity of the top 5 should be based on the fact that you truly resonate with that person's top 5 and it becomes your favorite list.
By the way,
taking it.
By the way, those same people that were DMing me to defend the crumb cake, if you don't think those same people, a large amount of them were cooking me when I was losing all these top 5s in a row, I was getting cooked by the same people. They were like, what is this? What is that? This is bullshit.
Some of the people are in the brilliantly dumb camp. They're
ruthless, but that's why we love them. But that's why we love them.
They have an edge to them.
They do, and you know what? We got the edge, and I'm on edge today. I'm ready to go.
I can see that.
I'm ready to go. It's a morning pod. A lot of energy. Been up since 6
Do you have a
a.m.
coffee? I see you have the crumb cake. Do you have a coffee?
Oh, I just had my coffee. Very good. With with a single espresso topper, Joseph.
Michael,
that's nice. That's nice.
I was talking to JJ Watt. Is that still a thing where you want to team up with Swan against them?
100%. If JJ's got the balls.
Oh, Mikey.
This guy's calling everyone out today. Mikey. What bed side of the bed did you wake up on?
Joe, I mean, he'll probably smoke me. He will smoke me, but that's fine. I'll die.
Probably.
But I'll go to battle.
Eviscerate you.
Joe, you know what, though? In the name of the show and in the name of the faithful and the voiceless and everybody, I would go to battle. And if I take a loss, I take a loss. It is what it is. Like
I don't tip my cap to him in the fact that he knows he's going to get cremated and he still would go and do
it. I mean, cremated's a little. I mean, that's not necessary.
Paul Swan destroyed you, and they killed Paul Swan. They have better numbers than Paul Swan.
Yeah, but
they're like at the top tier of
everybody loves an underdog story, though.
I would love that, Mikey. It's
if me and Swan lose to 2 future gold jacket NFL Hall of Famers,
you have nothing to lose. You have nothing to
lose.
I'm not saying you do. I'm saying, but you will lose, and you'll lose badly. And there's nothing wrong with that because
we should have like a handicap though. There should be a handicap on.
There should be, there should be like, you know what? I feel like more things in life should have handicaps. Like
that's a great buy. I would save that for the buy sell. I
have a great buy sell.
Okay, so let the cat get out.
But I'm going to say in life, I feel like a handicap system in golf really evens the playing field and brings everybody, regardless of your caliber or level, to the same playing field. And I think in life, we need to start implementing more handicaps, whether it's sports, whether it's whatever it may be. I think it makes it equal.
Let's dig into that a little deeper, Joey D. What do you think? What else do you think should be handicapped?
Well, I mean, this event for sure, if we're doing the peloton off, like with Watt, Beardown should definitely get some kind of handicap.
I'm open to that.
I should.
I honestly think it's not fair. Like, there's no one is going to expect that Mikey is going to beat a future Hall of Famer first round ballot like in JJ Watt.
That's right.
So he should have some kind of time stipend where it's like, and this is me being in Mikey's camp. I think there should be.
I mean, Joe, why the fuck would you not be in my camp? And why would you ever not be in my camp? That shouldn't have to be said. Doesn't have to be said, Bob.
What is wrong with you today?
He always makes it seem like it's a charity case. It's like I'm in Mikey's camp.
I'm trying here. You know what? Fuck the handicap. You should go straight up.
I can't do that. I admitted I can't do that, Joe. Go ahead. Continue with the handicap.
Be on your side.
Yes, go.
It's not a charity case. I'm saying you're not, no one expects you to beat these guys. So you should have some kind of stipend when it comes to the timing of this peloton.
I agree.
Okay, so
I don't know if stipend's the correct word, but I do agree.
Whatever the word is you want to use, we're saying we're using the same. We're on the
vernacular is very similar. Yes. Okay.
So I don't understand what the hostility is.
There's no hostility at all.
But
when you say because you're talking about JJ Watt and you're talking about me in some kind of a competition, and you're like, you know, and this is me talking because I'm in Mikey's camp. Like, why would you? What are you gonna pick JJ Watt over me? You can't do that. That's not.
I can't tell people that I'm rooting for my friend who is part of the podcast.
I don't think it should have to be said. You should be in my corner. In fact, you should be my towel man. You should be.
Towel man.
My corner.
That's a little degrading.
My corner guy, like a boxer.
Why don't you?
I would want you as my. I
right.
want you as my
the trainer,
man.
towel man, towel
what about
man.
your
is
towel-
a little-
maybe
no,
not
the guy
trainer,
who
maybe
decides if
hype
I got to
man.
throw in the
Right.
towel.
What about a hype man?
Yeah, no, I want you in my corner. I want you to be the corner guy.
Yeah, I'll be in
But
your corner
don't-
as your hype man, like somebody.
When I
who's-
say
who's-
towel, I meant like, God forbid things really get
Towel.
ugly. Joe throws in the towel on my behalf if
well,
it gets
there's
real
there's definitely a possibility that may happen.
I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm not disagreeing with that. I mean, J.J. Watt is, you're talking about possibly a top 10 NFL defender.
And by
of
the
all
way,
time.
I say this with a grain of salt because I wouldn't even get in that ring with those guys because I would last a second. I wouldn't even be.
Well,
So I will admit that Mikey is in great physical condition.
he is.
But
Not compared to the Watt brothers.
No, well, that's what
No.
I'm saying. There's a different tier.
Gonna
These
need
guys-
Swan to pull his weight, by the way.
Well,
Just
yeah.
saying
Mikey,
that.
you know what we were talking about? When you were playing football, you played football in college?
I was supposed to go Division II on incentive, and I got injured, and I never played.
Okay, but high school, like what were you like as a football player? Like were you
Like a-
like the
I can
A
answer.
hardo.
I black down in triangles
Yeah.
underneath my eyes. Yeah. Under Armour, Scully.
Bob, the boss,
Boss.
the boss.
Football was a lot different back then, man. The game has changed so much. It really, I mean, I think
Become a
that's very
softer
fair to say.
product, one would say.
Dude, like these kids, I see these kids in like 5th grade football, and they're coming out with like these uniforms and the visor, like the Oakley
Yeah, we
visors
didn't
on the
have
helmet.
that
I'm like,
shit.
what the fuck is this?
Did you play
Yeah.
did you play a little dirty, Mikey?
Yeah, I played dirty.
Oh,
did?
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Oh, yeah, sure.
So you had the big thing like in the
Oh,
back.
the neck
Oh,
roll.
yeah.
Yeah.
The boss.
I got a picture, Bob, of my last game in
Can
high
we
school.
see
I'll
it?
try and find it. I'll try. I have a blue Under Armour Scully on and
I've
fucking
seen
eye
it.
black down to here.
I've seen it.
I've seen it.
Okay, yeah.
But did anybody say like, Mikey, that this is a lot? Like, cool,
No,
take it down a
that's
little
football
bit?
No,
culture,
that was
Bob.
you were Bob. I mean, you act like you're from Jupiter. You live in Jupiter, Florida. You're not from planet Jupiter. You remember NJ Sports in high school,
sure.
how those guys were?
That's
Sure.
that's the football
Those football
culture. That
guys.
was
I mean,
how
the
it
football
was.
guys were fucking nuts. I mean,
And
Correct.
the linemen in particular were like the biggest.
But
like,
I just
yeah.
sorry, Joe. I see you as the nuttiest of the nuts.
I mean,
You know
I
what
was,
I mean?
yeah, I mean, my last game, I almost got, the referee told me, he was like, listen, I'm going to throw you out of your last game. I'm going to throw you out of the game. You're going to be gone. Because I was literally going up off the line on defense and grabbing the offensive lineman by like the stomach with both hands and just squeezing and trying to like rip him out of the way, like ripping into his stomach, into his guts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Hard
I'm sorry. I mean,
Well,
that's the
and
way
now-
I mean, I was, as a freshman coming up in football, like I got abused by these like seniors when I was a freshman. Like you got the shit kicked
Oh, you
out.
got hazed.
Destroyed.
There was a lot of hazing going on.
Yes,
when
yes. Like it's nothing. I feel like it's nothing.
Some of the
like
horror
that
stories in
anymore.
hockey too with the hazing. It was bad.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
now everybody's coddled. It's gone from
Were
one
you
end of the spectrum, Mikey, to the other, where it's God forbid anybody
Spectrum.
says anything. Yeah, it's tough.
Mhm.
Don't you agree? Like it's
Go ahead,
gone
Bob.
from like
No, it's not what it was at all.
no,
At all.
it ain't.
What about Bob? You had something?
This guy's
Yeah.
giggles.
He's got the
and he
giggles,
goes,
this guy.
No.
Got the giggle.
Fuck
No,
you.
no, fuck you.
dude.
No way.
Fuck you. All right.
A lot of
Joe,
hostility this morning. I don't
a lot
know
of
what the
hostility.
hell.
good.
Well, I
This
think
is good
Mikey
for us,
let.
though.
But
We're
I
gonna have
think
a lot
Mikey
of
let.
energy.
I will say, I think a lot of times,
A lot of
and I've noticed more and more that Joe knows what he's doing.
Oh,
Joe's
yeah.
smart, and he knows. Hold on, no, hear me out, Joe.
No, he does. I agree.
Joe knows exactly what he's doing, and in more ways than not, and I see it more and more. And he'll do things just to try and rile you up or whatnot.
It works.
With that being said,
I
think
don't come out like a fucking bat out of hell.
I think the last 2 weeks, Mikey V has come out very, very hostile. I do, and I think it's great for the program. But I do think
Oh,
last
Bob
2
loves
weeks,
it. He loves it.
Here's what I'm going to say. I think people listen and watch this show because we bring a certain level of energy to this show where we're not just three guys sitting around and like lackadaisical, nonsensical. We bring a little something. We bring a little something to pick up. And listen, Tuesday's not an easy day for a Tuesday to me is the worst day of the week. Besides the fact that the Brilliantly Dumb Show
Wednesday
comes
might
out.
be.
See, hump day to me is like at least you're halfway there. Tuesday is to me is a day where you really need a little something, and that's what we try and provide. Because I think Tuesday's the worst day of the
I
week.
kind of like Tuesdays.
Well, Tuesdays for you right now, Joseph, all due respect, is a little different than for Tuesday. Case in point, Joe, I don't mean to put you out there. Joe calls me yesterday, Bob, okay?
Oh, this is bad. This is bad.
It's a true story.
Oh
Yeah, this
man,
stuff
this is
is
gonna be
tough.
Calls
good.
me yesterday at like, I guess it was like 1 o'clock. And
1:30.
I couldn't answer, obviously. I was at my place of work. And I text him, I go, Joe, I'm in a meeting. I can't answer everything. All right, whatever. He goes, yeah, just call me back when you can. I go, no problem. Then he texts me, he goes, oh, dude, I thought it was Saturday, bro. I forgot you're at work.
It did feel like a Saturday. It felt like a Saturday.
I mean, what day doesn't at this point, Joseph?
Oh, Mike, here we go.
God
Here we
bless. By the way, Joseph going to Disney World, by the way.
go. I am. Yeah. Next week.
Locked in for Disney World?
Tuesday and Wednesday
big.
next week. Yeah.
This is big.
I've never been. I've been deprived my whole life. I've never been to Disney World. I shouldn't say deprived. That's not the right way.
I would say
my
deprived.
family leaned in very hard on sports. So like we were going on hockey trips and goalie schools and summer camps. So I shouldn't say deprived. That's not the word to say, because I had a wonderful childhood, and I don't want to like have people think that I didn't have a good childhood. But
You got great parents. Love your parents.
amazing, the best parents I could ever ask for. That being said, I've never been to Disney World. I went to Disneyland for the first time when I was in LA. So I would have been like 28 or something like that, the first time I ever went to Disneyland. And from what I've heard, Disney World is like Disneyland on steroids.
Yes.
So we finally found someone, I think, who's going to be able to take care of the dog. Thank God, after a long search, I think we found a really good girl to do that, and we're going to test it out this week and bring him. And so Nicole and I are going to spend a couple days to go to Disney World. So I called Mikey, because I don't know, there's all these parks and all these things. It's almost a little overwhelming, if I'm being honest.
Oh no, it's if you don't know what you're doing, it's
the
very
app
overwhelming.
and they're asking you like which one lightning lanes here and what experiences. And I literally said to Nicole, I was like, you pick, like, you set the itinerary, you plan
Smart
it
move,
out,
Joe.
because that way I know we're checking the boxes on that set and we can do stuff. But it's a lot to in 2 days. It's actually like a day and a half. It's a lot to fill in.
Well, that's
So,
why if you're Mikey instead of 2, you just go for the week.
I mean, life is
Well,
pretty good in the
I
market.
explained-
You should see the cost of these tickets, Bob.
Is that so?
Oh
Really?
Bob,
my God.
Bob,
The cost of these tickets, Bob,
Bob,
by the way,
is that so?
to go to the Hopper Pass, Bob, to get all 4 parks, it costs, I'm not going to throw a number out there. I'm telling you, for 2 days, you want to know how much it costs for me
why
and
not?
Nicole for 2 days?
Yeah, why not?
$900, Bob, for 2 days.
That's an expensive opera pass, man.
I said to Joe on the phone, I said, look, I said, there's a big difference between the trip I just did to Disney and the trip you're doing. You're with Nicole. You don't have kids. Like, this is a lot lighter of a lift. I said, there's no need probably to go to Magic Kingdom, because Magic Kingdom is mostly kid stuff. I said, the spots you definitely want to hit is, I mean, they have to hit Epcot. If you're adult,
but you know what? They're
you got to
smart,
go to
Mikey. They
Epcot.
make it so you have to do multiple parts. You can't just pick and choose.
What?
So like, you can't just pick, like, you can do one world, but you can't do 2. You got to do all of them.
Yeah, but
or one.
Joe, you could spend an entire day at Epcot easily. Joe. It's massive.
I've been
It's
to
massive.
Epcot. Epcot's a lot of fun.
It's
It
a
really-
lot of fun.
Yeah.
So,
I
like-
told Joe, and Joe loves food, Bob. You go around the countries,
Yeah.
get the food.
But I also want to see the animals. Like the safari thing is
So you
pretty
do
cool.
Animal Kingdom one day. You do the parks are big enough where you could spend an entire day there.
That's wild, man. Yo.
Whatchamacallit, Hollywood Studios, the smallest of all 4. So that could be like, you could really probably do that, but the other 3 easily full days, easily.
That's
Do you
wild.
regret? Do you think, Mikey? Do you regret going for the full week, or was that the right amount of time that
With
you
kids,
think
I
you
think
needed?
that's right.
6 days is the right time. Dude.
Yeah.
I mean, we got to see everything. They got to do everything, and there's still stuff we didn't do.
Okay.
I'm not going to get even close to seeing everything in a day and a half.
No.
a half.
Man,
no,
I
no.
thought Joe was gonna say that he had a connection at Disney. Like,
I would have
Oh,
loved
no.
that. I would have loved
oh
that.
my God, that would have been the
Yeah, I
great.
called Mickey.
well, see,
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
Got
do that.
Mickey on the horn.
You know, Donald Duck DM me, Bob.
Ladies
What a
and gentlemen,
ridiculous-
The busy holiday season is here, and Uncommon Goods
Good
makes
God
it less
almighty.
stressful with incredible hand-picked gifts for everyone on your list, all in one spot. Gifts that spark joy, wonder, delight, and that is the exactly what I wanted feeling. When you shop at Uncommon Goods, you're supporting artists and small independent businesses. Many of their handcrafted products are made in small batches, so shop before they sell out this holiday season to get 15% off your next gift. It's 15% off your next gift. Go to uncommongoods.com/dumb. That's uncommongoods.com/dumb. 15% off. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Uncommon Goods. We are all out of the ordinary. Joe, were you a good hockey wise? I wanted to ask you, were you a good locker room guy?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, as a goalie, you're kind of like in
your
your
own
own
world?
world. Yeah. I mean, if you ask anybody, I mean, I had friends all on the team, and I was like, I was like a good teammate. But when I went to go play hockey, like when I was really serious about it, Bob, I'd sit in the corner. I didn't really before the game. I wouldn't really talk to hardly anyone. I'd kind of just be visualizing of the game, and like I had my pregame routine. I'd get there an hour and a half before. I did all my stretching in the locker room and
Was there a
whatnot.
pregame like meal that you would always go with, like a food?
It depends. If we were on the road, yeah, we would. It depends, but like I like contrary to what you see now, I was an athlete. I was regimented.
I've seen old pictures
focused.
of you. You were in shape. I know that.
Oh yeah,
I know
and
that.
I took it very like I wanted at one point when I was younger, like I wanted to play in the NHL. That's what I wanted to do. So for me, it was not about hanging out with the guys and having fun. It was like I took shit very seriously, and I played at a high level, so it was good. But goalies, if you ask anybody, they'll say like, especially in hockey. All hockey guys will say that goalies are just built a little different. They're a little crazy. You only have two of them on a team, as opposed to a team of 20-something guys. You have two goalies. That's it. One starter. That's it.
Yeah.
You got to be a little different.
But but like on the bus and stuff, like were you like
Oh
a good
yeah, when
camaraderie guy?
when we were traveling, going on road trips, yeah, sure. But when it was game time, it's game time. Like
I love that when
that's
he said when we were on the road. It's so good.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah.
like he's Motley Crue. It's so good. So good. Joe, was this travel before high school or was this high school travel?
predominantly high school, and then like into like college years. After
Okay.
that,
But what was
after
the college years? Was college hockey or was it like a
yeah,
junior league or
I
something?
played for the SFU men's hockey team. So,
Okay.
but that was not as serious because at that point in my I shouldn't say career. At that point, I
Say
was
career.
not.
Say career.
Yeah.
Say
At
career.
that point in my career, I was just
Yes.
playing like college hockey. There's no aspirations at that point of going any further. So I really kind of dug into having fun with the guys, and it was like a different element. When I was playing early in high school, like 15, 16, 17 years old, that was the time where I was very focused on trying to make it into like an elite level of hockey. So I was a different guy back then as opposed to when I played college hockey.
And by the way, small fish in a big pond because everybody's playing hockey in Canada. I mean, that's
Canada,
the sport.
it's
If Joe was born in Texas, he may have very well been the greatest goalie in Texas high school history. But I mean, you go into Canada, I mean, everybody's playing fucking hockey.
It'd be like going to Florida as a golfer. You know what I mean? Like,
right, or
if
being
you're a
like born
golfer
in
in
Brazil and
Alaska,
you want to play soccer. Like it's
good luck.
tough.
Yeah,
It's tough.
it's the talent pool is
so were
fucking-
you only seeing these guys on the ice where you weren't seeing them in school because you were at home school? So you only saw them when you went to the
Yeah, but
onto the
Bob,
ice.
I was doing hockey 4 or 5 times a week, easy.
Right, but would
So
they
we'd
go
have,
to
like-
school and then you would just meet them on the ice?
Yeah, well, it wasn't a hockey. It wasn't like a it had nothing to do with high school. They'd all go to high school, and then hockey was in the evenings. It would be like, or we'd have like on the weekends, morning practice, or we'd have a game. But I would be like 2-3 practices a week, couple games a week, and then I did goalie school, which was separate from the team stuff. So it was like full.
Was
on.
the team stuff though? Was that the high school team or was it like a
No,
traveling
it, had,
team?
it was an independent hockey team that had nothing to do with high school.
Okay. That clears a
Mikey,
lot up then.
You know what I would love to do? Like
Go ahead.
if we go to Burnaby together, like just as like reporters
You've
and like
been to Burnaby.
But like for me and Mikey to go to Burnaby together as reporters and have like all these interviews lined up of people that knew Joe growing up and stuff, wouldn't that be one of the greater trips we've ever taken?
What are we doing here,
We
Bob?
got
No,
so
I'm serious.
We got so much insight from that wedding, man.
We did.
We got so much insight from that wedding. It was so good. It was like listening to your sisters, Joe, and like your dad and your mom, like it was so, and your brother. It was so good. It was so.
My brother's the best. My brother's the best.
Good
nice
guy,
guy, really
good
nice
guy.
guy.
Bob was going up to family and asking questions
This is
about
what he
me
does.
like I
This is
was
what
a
he does.
circus freak. It was like
He's like the,
Tell me.
he's like Wolf Blitzer.
Joe was growing up. Like, how was his pre-meal routine? It's like, what are we doing here, man?
Yeah. Bob is the worst. He really
It's
is.
like, dude, I'm not a fucking Martian. Like, I'm a human being.
There's times
Not
where
in
I
Bob's
want-
world. You're not Joe. And I got news for you. Neither am I. So don't worry about it.
That's not true. I think it's a compliment how fascinating I find you, Joe. I don't think it's a bad thing at all. I think it's a compliment.
That's a
Honestly.
pretzel job, Michael. A compliment. Yeah, yeah. He's once said that they need to, when I die, they need to study my brain for research.
I stand by that. And you know what?
You know how
Regardless-
ridiculous that sounds, man?
Let me
stand by that. he said.
Regardless of what Mikey says, I know he thinks the exact same thing, that he would love to take a dive into what's going on in there. And that's what, Joe, you have the ability with how nuts you are to change the dynamic of the whole show. I've said it to you the other day, did I not? That you can change an entire episode just by one.
Sure. I can mention a
ridiculous-
crumb cake.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's very.
We set the fucking world on fire because I asked him about a goddamn crumb
He
cake.
didn't ask about. Never mind.
Yeah.
Never mind.
I'll tell you what, this week's top 5 is going to be a war. I'll tell
Oh
people
my God. Yeah.
it's going to be a fucking war.
It's going to be a battle.
Just for the top 5, so we're going to do top 5. Like, instead of a top 5, I think what we really should be doing is build
assembling.
build your Thanksgiving plate, and then Bone puts the graphic of just 3 plates and whoever has
Wow.
them. You know,
I like
you know
that
what
I
I'm
a lot.
like
saying?
that a lot. That's a lot of work for Bone. I hope he's ready for it. It's a lot of work for Bone.
Dude,
Looks like
he
he got more
had-
than he bargained for this week.
So Bone, the producer of the Brilliantly Dumb Show,
Bro,
has-
you sent me that picture. I was like, what the fuck? That
It
was
is-
unbelievable.
he
Sorry.
What's the
had
picture?
he
He'll
so
tell you.
just Bone in the car. I had dinner with Bone last night.
I didn't
took him
know
for
he was
dinner.
out there. I had no idea.
Mikey, neither did I. Yeah, no,
What?
not actually. I'm just
I
saying-
was out for dinner. Do you know? You hear this story, Bob? I was
No.
out for dinner with Nicole at Utiki. I was walking by, like leaving, and I just heard Cutsy. And I looked over. I thought maybe it was like a fan or something. I look, and it's like, I'm like, Bone? It's like, hey, what's up, man? He's
That's so
sitting there
good.
in Jupiter,
That's so
Florida,
good.
having dinner at the same restaurant as me. I'm like, the hell are you doing here? He's like, yeah, I came last week. I'm like,
So
what the hell?
So what's he doing there?
he moved down. I asked him to move down. You know, it would be better to have him down here. So we really needed a guy. I said, in order to bring him for Bob Just Sports, it
Right.
made more sense to have him down here.
Right.
So, you know, he said that he would be willing to move and all. He got hired, and like a week later, he's living 3 doors down. I could walk to his house and
Yeah, same block as Bob.
he lives 3 doors down from me.
He's living in Harold Varner the
Well,
third's
I wasn't
house.
gonna see. I wasn't gonna
Who?
expose. Don't
He's a
see,
live golfer,
Well,
and
I
he's
was-
living with them. It's
I-
crazy.
yeah,
Why
I
would you
wasn't-
expose? No, there's nothing to expose. It
Well,
shows that
but that's
guy.
that's his business. I didn't know if he wanted that
we're not
out there.
giving
and-
Well,
addresses
too late now,
here,
Bob.
We're not
Oh,
giving
yeah.
addresses out here. I mean, it's a testament to the guy that Harold Varner is, because they
What
play
the
Call of Duty.
fuck?
They play Call of Duty together for years.
Yeah,
Bro,
Mikey. It's
It's a
This
crazy
This
story.
story is
It's
insane.
crazy. So he
Not made
lives.
up.
He's here. He's here. So I had dinner with him last night. I said, you know, I might as well take him down. He got here, and I was on like a month-long trip, if not
Yeah.
more. So I
Yeah.
felt bad that he was just here, and I wasn't there. So I said, you know, when I get home, I want to take him out to dinner, the whole 9
Yeah.
yards. He's there. So when I snuck a pic of him in the car, he doesn't even. I knew how much you'd appreciate just seeing him just in the
Yeah.
car. So he's
Yeah.
here.
I
He's
thought he was
here.
just like visiting or something.
He lives
Were
here.
you perplexed when you saw it, Mikey?
Yeah, I was like, Bone? Like the same, probably the same exact reaction you had, Joe.
Imagine
Joe.
seeing him in a restaurant that you're
That's what I'm
leaving
saying,
in Florida.
like-
But in fairness, Joe, you knew that he was coming down.
I know,
just
but
surprised
it
you.
just came as out of nowhere.
It's a
Bob.
long way
mean,
from East Lansing, Michigan. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
Grand Rapids.
The Spartan man.
Well,
I
he's
saw
gonna-
him yesterday. He said he's calling all his friends because it snowed in Michigan yesterday, and it's like 74 degrees and beautiful here, and he's like rubbing it in on them.
He's gonna fly
Good for him.
back every
Flex.
weekend for the Spartans football games.
Oh my God.
No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
I was gonna say, okay, come on.
I was
dude.
like, oh my
Come on.
God. He drove his car from Grand Rapids.
Yeah.
That doesn't surprise me. That's a bone move. I would have guessed he would drive his car. He needs the car. If he's moving there, he needs the car.
He's a great hang, by the way, too. He was hanging at my house the other day.
Bone's a good guy.
Really great hang. He reminds me of Jet in the way of when Jet was at my house all the time, like every single day. He's so quiet that you kind of forget that he's there, which is nice because you have your
Happier
alone
Jet
time.
for sure.
Definitely, yeah. Jet's in a horrible, horrible place.
Well, he's in the
Very
motherland
concerning.
right now.
He's in Israel.
Wait.
Well, wait. Let me rephrase that. I meant mentally he's in a horrible place. Mentally, Israel is not a horrible place, but he's in Israel.
He's in Israel. He's in the
mentally
motherland.
in a bad spot. Yeah, I didn't mean that Israel
Oh
was a
my
horrible
God.
place. Yeah.
I got to be honest, man. I would be very, very scared to be going
His
anywhere.
flight,
right now.
Mikey, from Air France got canceled. They said we no longer fly to this destination, and he had to get another
Yeah.
flight.
Because it said, but Mikey, it said that they don't fly to that destination because of what's happening in the
Yes,
Middle East.
that's why I just said I would be very frightened to travel there.
Let me tell
I
you
mean,
something.
good.
He sent us a picture of his GPS when he was flying over Nazareth. He said, "I'm in the motherland."
Yeah.
If I-
Good for him. Good for him.
yeah, he's going to like a bar mitzvah or something like that.
Come on, man.
Nah, I'm
Oh,
telling you.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
well,
what
yeah.
he went. Is that what he went out for specifically?
Something along those lines.
It's
yes.
a big one. It's apparently it must be a huge one.
And the problem for him, I talk to Jet 5 times a day. I have no regard for what time it is there. So like I called him at 3 in the morning, like 0. And throughout the time that he's going to be there, I'm never going to figure it out.
What
Like,
time is it? Let's see what time it would be right now. Maybe we can call him.
So
when
it's 10:30 in the morning Eastern Standard right now.
when my
Okay,
brother was
Israel, let's see. Jerusalem, or we'll go Tel Aviv.
Tel Aviv.
Tel Aviv is 5:39 p.m. right now.
Holy
So they are 7 hours ahead of
Yep.
us.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. So all the power to him. But man, I'm telling you right now, if I got that text, no chance I'm going, man. There ain't no way.
Bob was
No.
like scared when he saw the text.
For him. I mean, that's a very scary thing.
Dude,
They-
it's a very delicate situation what's going on right now. Well, I'm not going to get into it, but it's I don't need to tell anybody. Everyone watches the news, they see what's going on. Like it's just I
That
wouldn't
just
want to
went
be
in like-
going to I just wouldn't want to be
Just
traveling
Hawk
outside
skipped his way
United
over to
States.
Tel Aviv for a bar mitzvah.
Yeah, like I'd go to like me and Holly are going to Mexico in April. I'll do that. Like that's
Yeah,
fine.
Sure.
But
Mexico's
we have a
great.
destination wedding.
Where,
Destination
Cabo?
wedding. Yeah, I believe so.
Oh, Cabo's
Yeah.
great,
Are
Mike.
these people, are they close to you?
Her friends, not mine.
Oh, okay.
Cabo
Oh,
is
well, no
great.
disrespect. I mean, like, I like you guys. I mean, but
But
Ca-
her
Cabo
friends.
is really.
Her
Have you been
friends.
to Cabo before?
no. No.
Oh, it's great. Now from the East Coast, that's a long trip. But
Yeah.
I will say
There's no direct flight. We have to take
No.
connecting. Yeah. Yeah.
Mikey,
I hate
Cabo
that. I
is
hate
special,
that, man.
man.
I hate,
How-
I
how
hate
was-
connecting flights.
How was Chicago?
Chicago was wonderful.
Nice
Chicago
place.
was so Saturday we go to Ohio State Northwestern at Wrigley Field, which was
That looked
I'd never
cool.
been to Wrigley. Never been to Wrigley.
You
Been
see
to
the
Wrigley
DraftKings
Field.
next door?
Well, Joe, we went to
Yeah.
the DraftKings together
Joe,
last year.
let's let
Remember?
let the
You remember that?
That's right. I forgot that you were with
Let-
us. Yes.
Right,
I'm sorry.
right.
Oh,
Right. That's okay.
Let's
That's,
take it-
I'm not surprised. Oh yeah, we I've been to Wrigleyville, but never been inside Wrigley. It was awesome to see it set up for a football game. It was like mind blowing a little bit to see that. Anyway, we go to dinner that night. This place, Gene and Giorgetti's, which was a recommendation of Big Cat. He said this was the place. It's like an old school, and it is. It's like old school, like one of those like steakhouses. Like it looks like a mob joint. We walk in. And the first fucking guy I see sitting at the bar is Urban Meyer. That's the first guy sitting at the bar.
Did you
is
say hi
Urban
to him?
Meyer. So
sure
he's sitting there. He's sitting there. He's sitting there talking with.
Let the guy.
I can't ask the question, Bob. What is this, a monologue?
Let the guy.
I can't ask a question.
You can ask a question. What was
What
the
the hell's wrong with you? It's not a monologue,
I'm into
Bob.
this. I'm into the story. Go ahead,
Okay.
Mikey.
So Urban's sitting there, and listen, I don't fanboy out like ultimate fanboy out. Joe's gonna roll his eyes. That's fine. But like, this is a whole nother level for me of like Urban Meyer to me is like, that's like as big as it gets for me. Anyway, you'll be happy to hear how this story goes, though. He's sitting at the bar with Jerry DiNardo. For those of you who don't know who Jerry DiNardo is, he's on the Big Ten Network. They do a show together. He used to be the head coach of Indiana football, funny enough. They're sitting there watching this 27-inch tube TV. You know, the old TVs with the big back? Like, that's how old school this place was. Hung up in a corner. They're locked in on Oregon, Wisconsin, watching the game and talking about the game like they're broadcasting it. It's fucking wild. And they're eating like whatever they're eating, bread, sausage and peppers, I don't know, drinking, whatever. I made the decision. I was like, I'm not going to go up to him. I'm not going to bother him. He's eating like, it's too much. It's a restaurant. I'm dressed up. Like, it's too much. I don't want to do that. Instead, I send him and DiNardo a drink. I tell the bartender, I'm like, I'd like to buy these two gentlemen a drink. So I sent them a drink. Urban looks over, nice little head nod. I say thank you to him. What do I say thank you for? People will say that's crazy. I thank him for the national championship that he won at Ohio State. Obviously, that's what I'm thanking him for. And it was wonderful. It was a great trip. The stream was awesome, minus the fact that the Bears got the kick blocked, obviously, which I knew they were going to miss that kick.
Good clip,
Something
though.
was going to happen anyway. I knew that was fucked.
thing
Pat
you sold the
Beverly, met
tickets.
him, really nice guy.
I was gonna say, what was it like watching the games with him? It doesn't seem like he's a big football guy, but he was in.
He just came back from Israel.
Yes,
He was in Israel. He plays in an Israeli basketball league, and he was talking about Israel.
Yeah, him and
walked
Jet
in the middle of the stream.
Him and Jet brought their planes just went right by each other.
They waved to each other from the windows. But yeah, no, Chicago. I mean, listen, if you've never been to Chicago, like, and you've done like a long weekend there, such a beautiful city. It's like New York without without being overpopulated, and it's a lot cleaner. The restaurants you can't miss. We had 3 incredible dinners back to back nights. Good to get away without the kids. It was great.
Where restaurant did you have the banana the dessert?
Oh, Joe's stone crab seafood.
Great spot, man.
Great
the
spot,
best.
man.
But Mikey, when you sent him the drink, right?
Yeah.
He nods, and then did you just say thank you?
Yes. Yep.
Oh,
and that was it.
Good interaction.
But I didn't. It took everything in me not to go up and be. I really wanted to get a picture.
You should have.
I didn't want to do it at a restaurant.
You may never see him again.
I have one cardinal rule. If you're eating dinner, that to me is like something I was raised like, I'm not going to bother you if you're eating dinner. Like
respectful.
if it was a bar and he's standing there and he's not eating, totally different scenario. I got no problem doing that, but he's sitting there, bro. And it was so surreal to see him watching a game. And it was like they were broadcasting the game. They were talking Wisconsin, Oregon, watching the game, and they were making comments back and forth to each other. And I'm like, it was just awesome to see him. Let alone, I got a good sneak pick though. I did sneak a pick, sent it to Bob. It was a good pick.
Joe, remember we saw him at the Nice Guy?
Yeah.
Who, Urban?
Urban, yeah.
Did you talk to him or no?
No, it's like a clubby type.
By the way,
speaking
of the Nice Guy, there was a time, this was years ago,
right?
When we went into the Nice Guy.
So what is the timeout? What is the Nice Guy officially?
It's like this club? Upscale lounge dinner spot
is
in LA.
It's the most LA spot of all time.
Okay. Go ahead. Sorry.
It's a very high end, like you kind of like we had no business being in there. You kind of need to know someone to get in. We kind of had a connection that got us in there.
Right.
Shout out Doyle. But yeah, so we were in there and we went multiple times. We saw Wiz Khalifa, we saw Urban Meyer, we saw Matt Damon one time. The one time though, Bob freaked out. We saw Pat Beverly it all comes back to Beverly. We saw Pat Beverly in the Nice Guy in a booth, and Bob's like, I want to say hi to him so
You're
bad.
a big Pat. I didn't know you were a big Pat Beverly guy.
At the time, I was because I thought he was the most interesting basketball player on earth.
Years ago.
He is. Let me tell you, he's very good. Like in terms of like back and forth banter and like conversation.
I also think too on the court, like he just goes out there and starts a fight. Like it's the funniest. I get such a kick out of watching him play because all he does is just stir shit up from the second he gets on the court.
And this was back when he was kind of in his prime too. So I think he was with the Clippers back then. And he was still like really, bringing the sauce. And Bob was like, he said the same thing as you, Mikey. He said he's there with a bunch of his friends.
Yeah.
They're having dinner and the same situation. He's like, I what am I going to say to him? I'm going to go up to the table. And it was even worse. It wasn't 2 people. There was like 4 or 5 people. He's like, how am I going to approach him? And I think that's the right thing to do. It's like, it's very tough scenario when you're in a dinner setting, and kudos to you, Mikey, to not do that. Cause I think it's,
I listen, it took Holly was even like, just do it. I was like, no, I can't. I was like, I can't do it. I can't. He's eating dinner. It just doesn't feel right to do. It just feels too much.
Did they leave before you left? Or
yeah, they were already sitting there.
That would have been the time to go up when they got up.
But I couldn't. Hey, we were in another room around the corner. It was never. If
you were in the close proximity, that would be the time.
Yeah.
When they start standing up to leave, where you could go over and just say, I just wanted to say, I'm a huge fan, and went to,
I'm kind of scarred from the Michael B. Jordan thing. That interaction that I've kind of learned just let.
What happened?
You ever heard the story with me with Michael B. Jordan?
No.
We were in another LA place called the Delilah, which is like a
nightclub.
Right.
Yeah. And I had an interview with Michael B. Jordan the next day. I was going to interview him. I was really excited. I was really prepped.
Right.
And we saw him out. He was sitting at the table.
Just per chance, though.
Yeah, just by chance. And I had an interview with him the next day.
Well, that's okay.
So I saw Michael B. Jordan, and I didn't even think. I saw him. I was like, oh, I'm going to go up and say something. Like,
you're interviewing him the next day.
So I went up to him at his table, and he was with some friends. And I said, hey, man, like, how you doing? I was like, I just want to let you know I have an interview with you tomorrow. I said, it's not going to be like any, the normal interviews that you get. Mm-hmm. What I meant like that was I'm not going to like just ask the same shit that you've heard every day. Like, we're going to have a lot of fun. That's what I meant by it.
Right. What did he interpret it as?
I'm like, it's not going to be your normal interview. And then he's like, he looked at me very confused. And he was like, what do you mean by that? And I was like, oh, I just meant like, we're going to have a good time. It's going to be, I almost think he thought that like I was going to catch him off guard with something and he's like, yeah, man. He's like, well, we'll have a good conversation or whatever. I was like, all right, like have a good night. It was awful. I was so embarrassed.
The nightclub is tough too, because it's such a loud environment.
Yes.
But then he showed up to the interview and he dabbed me up. He's like, how was the Delilah last night? So then we were talking about it.
So the interview went good.
Correct. Then the interview was great. Yes. And we hit it off. But he was caught very off guard. And looking at his perspective, I get it. But what I meant by it was it's not going to be the normal, because he had a press
cookie cutter shit.
Yeah, that he was going to get the same shit. Anywho, let's go buy or sell here, fellas. We're late into it. Buy or sell. Joey D, you want to take it away?
Sure. I'm going to sell this week. This is a tough look for Mikey. I'm not going to lie, because this guy has for a long time now defended this individual.
Oh yeah. You know what? That was my sell today.
I'm going to sell first. So
that was
I'm
my
going to
sell.
sell.
I was going hand up
Conor,
on this.
Conor McGregor.
I was going hand up.
This guy is one of the biggest scumbags around. We have said it for ages. Mikey actually didn't mind if he had a sister for him to date her. That being said, this guy is now accused of sexual assault, battering and beating a woman. He is truly one of the lowlifes and the biggest pieces of shit. And you know what? I don't care if people go on the record of me saying this. He's not a good person. He beat an old guy in a bar. Like, he's got some issues. I don't know if maybe he's taken a couple too many shots to the head and there's some like loose screw up there, but he's got some issues and he's got to get them fixed and figured out pretty quickly, because he's going to end up harming or hurting somebody really bad. Because whether or not he's in fighting shape, he's still in that different category of people who could kill a man with their bare hands. And it's not okay. This guy he's a menace. He's a problem. And I'm selling him, and I hope nobody supports this guy anymore, because he's a piece of shit. Conor McGregor, I'm selling the hell out of him.
I mean, look, hard not to agree.
The best part of that whole sell is when Joe says, I don't care if people, what did you say, Joe?
On the record?
Yeah, hold me on the, what are you, a Supreme Court justice? Like, what the fuck? Who's going to hold you on the record for your commentary against Conor McGregor, Joe? Who's going to do that?
Never know, Mikey.
You got to stand by it because that was my sell also. Now I got to come up with a new one.
No, you could double. You could double
I'm not
sell.
going to do that. I'm not going to sell our.
Do you want me to? Do you want me to go to
Yeah, you go.
I just don't know how
I
many
will say,
more
Joe,
times are we going to
good
give
sell.
this guy?
Let me
I
just make a
agree.
statement. I'll make a statement now. Hand up accountability. I was wrong about Conor McGregor.
Wow.
Hand up
You
accountability.
know what, Michael? We were wrong about the crumb cake. We were absolutely wrong about the crumb
Well,
cake.
I got to try for myself.
Oh, here he goes.
There's always a caveat, Bob.
Well, no, I'm not going to just say it's the best dessert. I got to try.
I didn't say it was the best dessert.
I'm saying
I never
that to Bob.
said that.
I'm not saying you said that.
Okay,
I'm saying based on Bob putting the hand up,
I'd love you to try it. I'd love you to try it.
I will try it. I will give you the credit that
and
it
Bob,
got
let
more.
me ask you this. You grew up in Jersey and you're a major bagel advocate. Everyone knows the bagel stops and ends with Bob. Everyone knows that. That's established, right? In Bagel King. Every bagel shop in New Jersey always had the crumb cake wrapped up right on the counter there. Yeah, you never dabbled?
No, to be honest with you, not really. No.
Okay.
Yeah. I've had like the Little Debbie ones or like, like those, but
you enjoy those?
I didn't mind it. Yeah. I didn't mind it. I'm curious. Next episode, we'll have Joey D try the crumb.
I just don't even know, like, what is it? Just like angel food?
I'm going to send you a crumb cake. I'm going to send you a crumb cake. I'm going to send you a crumb cake.
By the way, that clip of Conor McGregor, when he hits that old man, that the blindsides this old guy, I don't know.
Just a piece of shit, man.
Did you see the picture of him walking out of court with his wife? His wife looks completely despondent, man.
Oh,
like she looks like, I don't think that marriage has got too much left in it, man.
I mean, but he's been doing a ton. Like he's
but now I don't know how she stands. I mean, I don't know. I mean, he's got a lot of money.
He's got a
lot of money.
Yeah,
so
he's got a drug
I don't know
problem.
what she's about.
It's
drug problem for sure.
He's like,
all right, I'm gonna go with a buy. He's so back. We talked about him last week, and he has been putting up a ton of clips now. Not only is his shit amazing, I don't think he even realizes how funny his shit is. John Gruden just couldn't be any more back than it's so funny. He put up a clip of him golfing. He's got a nice golf swing too. Anything that guy does, I think, is fucking hysterical. And I think enough time has passed since his fuck up with the whole email scandal. That I think he might end up getting a job soon, whether it be next year or something like that. I think his name's going to start coming up as an offensive coordinator, coach. He's back. He's all over the place. His shit is really, really funny. I think you're going to see more and more of him. I think you're going to hear more of him. John Gruden, bye.
It's a great buy.
It's too bad he wasn't there that Sunday, Mike.
I know. I wanted to see that. I would have been chewing his ear off 100%. He's a football guy through and through, man. He gets tapes delivered to his house. Like, what a nut job. I love it. Yeah, I'm gonna buy now. I'll pivot off the McGregor sell. It's a good sell. Hand up on McGregor. I was wrong. I'm gonna buy. There's this thing with Amazon Prime that I've been noticing that I'm very much into it because I'm a big outtakes bloopers guy. I don't know if you guys ever noticed this. In any movie now, if you stream a movie on Amazon, there's this thing called like the gag information or like blooper information, wherein you could keep open a thing and it shows you the indiscrepancies, like mistakes that are made in each and every scene of the movie. Even like in like real good movies, it'll be like, oh, during this scene, you see this here, but then it disappears. I'm very much into that. And I noticed that on a flight back from, it was Chicago, I think. And I've been noticing it every time now I watch a movie on Amazon. You could, of course, turn it off. You don't have to look at it, but it's a very, very interesting feature that it like tells you all these like tidbits of like mistakes or outtakes and stuff in the movie as you're watching it. Very interesting. Very interesting. I'm buying it. I didn't know that. Fan of that. Big fan of it. Could be good for Bobby Blockbusters.
Could be.
Well, could be a game changer.
I do. Yeah,
me too. All right, fellas, let's go into our top 5. It's gonna get fun here now. So you could call it a top 5. I mean, it'll definitely count as a top 5, but what we're going to be doing is building our Thanksgiving plate. So you get to build a Thanksgiving plate. And then I think that's the play for Bone and Ticket is 3 plates, and they put and the people decide who has the best built plate. In honor of Thanksgiving, we think this is the time to do it. Mikey V with the big win last week, as we know. Joey D definitely did come in second, right?
Yeah.
I did, yes.
Yeah.
So Mikey, what would you like? And then Joe after that.
Yeah, I feel like I have to take one, so I'm gonna go first.
Okay. And then Joe, you go ahead.
Yeah, I'll go third.
Joey D goes third. Okay. I think the committee's gonna have to step in for a few things, by the way.
You think so?
Nah.
Yeah, I
know.
think so. Okay, I'll start something right now. Are we considering gravy to be its own separate thing?
Yes. Yes.
That's what I'm saying. The committee's stepping in.
Yes. It has to be.
Michael?
Great gravy separate.
I guess
It has to
I guess. All right.
It's served
you know what?
separate from the other dishes.
I think we have to keep it separate only because like it's going to be tough to come up with 15.
Yes.
I'm fine
items,
with that.
so let's keep it separate.
And the other thing is it's served in a separate dish from everything else. So in essence,
fine.
it's a separate item.
I'm fine with it. I just wanted to run it by the committee.
Yeah.
Fine.
Okay.
Yeah, at one, I mean, listen, you can't say what you will about the bird. You can't have a Thanksgiving plate without turkey. You can't. You can't. I don't care what you think about it. Deep fried, this way, that way, drumstick, breast, whatever. Give me turkey. Have to take turkey.
That's the right play. Give me mashed potatoes.
Joseph?
All right. I am going to go with stuffing,
Great pick.
and I am going to go with mac and cheese.
I know that hurts Bob because I know Bob was looking for
love
that
love a good mac and cheese.
I know Bob. I feel like Bob has had mac and cheese on lists that it doesn't even make sense that mac and cheese should be on it, but he always takes mac.
Well, this is a list where I think it does deserve to be on.
100%, 100%.
Yeah, it's great. It's so good. Okay, lock me in for green bean casserole.
Okay, now Mikey.
No. Oh yeah. You're right.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yep.
Bob's not used to coming third. He's not used to making only one pick.
To be honest,
I was ready to go back to back.
That's why I was like, I was gonna let him go too. I was like, yeah, fuck it, go ahead.
Yeah,
I was like,
he's been a one in so many weeks or second in so many weeks. He's not used to being in the two slot.
Two slot's tough, man. I was ready to
It's
pick
not
again.
easy. Yeah, he was getting ready to lock in another pick.
this is, and it's specifically the canned cranberry, not homemade garbage. The canned cranberry is. I mean,
that
one of my
high,
favorite things.
Mikey?
Yeah, because I got the back-to-back, so it really doesn't matter if I pick it in the 2-hole or the 3-hole, but I'm locking in canned cranberry sauce. And then I'm going to come back around. You could give me, I'll take the gravy. I'll take gravy off the board.
Yeah.
Then there'll be no concerns about the turkey being dry. We got the gravy. It was essential. It was a handcuff. It was
So
like taking a handcuff in fantasy.
Turkey, cranberry sauce, and gravy.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Bob?
All right. Give me. Man, dude, this
gets tough now.
It gets very tough.
I have to have some sort of meat in there. Like I have to have an entree, and I don't. If Joe takes it, I'm fucked. So give me ham.
It's a good pick, Bob.
Yeah, I have to have it. Over to the D-man.
This is gonna get interesting now.
It's gonna get really interesting.
Something's coming. He's got something that was on his Thanksgiving plate in Canada that no one knows. It's coming.
The D-man.
Hit him, Joe.
All right, I am going to go. This is an essential.
Tough.
It's an essential. Well, there's some stuff still sitting around. I just don't know if it'll make it all the way back. All right, I am going to go with pumpkin pie. And then on the way back, I am going to go with This is a tough one, man. Give me candied yams.
Great pick.
Yeah, really good stuff, man.
Great pick.
Okay, give me rolls. So either biscuits or rolls.
Okay. I will take.
Give me biscuits.
I'm gonna
Biscuits.
the dessert play was the one that Joe got, so I'm gonna steer away from that. I could go another direction, but I'm not gonna. I'm gonna take back to back. Give me cornbread, and then
Yeah.
give me stuffed mushrooms is my final pick.
Bob, you took biscuits,
Yeah.
not rolls. Okay.
No, he took
said-
rolls.
No, he said
Rolls,
Biscuit.
rolls, or I mean,
Yeah, but it's the same thing.
Okay.
I'm gonna say it has to be. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I gotta throw in a dessert now. Give me apple pie.
So I got the last pick, yeah.
Yeah, that's correct.
It's tough. There's no other meats that I can take. There's no
No.
other protein.
No.
Give me scallop potatoes.
Like a good
I gotta
scalloped
have some
potato.
kind of, yeah, they're good. And already there's no
Doubled
mashed-
up on your potatoes there, dog. You got the yams and the scalloped.
Mikey's got a lot of sauce, dude. He's gonna have a
yam's like a
lot of sauce.
vegetable though.
lot of sauce. That'll be a wet plate, dude.
lot of
Oh
sauce.
yeah, it's gonna
Lot
be
of sauce.
dripping.
A lot of drip.
Just make sure you don't
Drip,
tilt it too much. It'll just
Well, it's
drip
just the
all over.
gravy. I mean, the cranberry is not like it's jelly. It's like jello. I mean, it's not really. All right. Turkey, cranberry sauce, gravy, cornbread, stuffed mushrooms. Bob, mashed potato, green bean casserole, ham, rolls, apple pie. Joe, stuffing, mac and cheese, pumpkin pie, candied yams, scalloped potatoes. The only thing I'm concerned about is Joe's plate with no meat on it whatsoever.
There's no
Oh,
other meat to add.
know.
What would you
Yeah.
have added? The
I
honey
know.
ham was
like
one that-
meatball. I don't know. Did you ever have like meatballs?
not really.
You wanna
me
be
neither,
honest?
but I'm just trying to think of something.
I was
Oh.
gonna go chicken cutlets, but that's an Italian play, and a lot of people wouldn't resonate it with
Yeah.
it. You
But
know,
look, I would take that plate, Joe. That's for damn. You put chicken cutlet.
No, it's
I
a good
prefer-
plate. It's a good plate.
I just
I-
don't know how it would resonate. I
like my
went more
list.
traditional Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Stuffing mac and cheese pumpkin pie 1, 2, 3 is as
Good
strong
starter.
as it gets.
Yeah, it
it's as
is.
strong as it gets.
It is. You had a great one too. And the 3, pumpkin pie people.
Pumpkin
like
pie is so good, man.
Pumpkin
I
pie
actually
was
think
pumpkin pie. I was taking that. If you didn't take it,
I
on-
knew
on
it was
that
not
way, I
making
was
its way
taking it,
back.
yeah.
And the pumpkin pie, I will say it doesn't get the just credit it deserves because people really only have it in the fall. Pumpkin pie should be a year round.
Well, that's a lot of Thanksgiving stuff like stuffing. You don't see.
Stuffing, Bob, you've said it before. Stuffing is so good. I would have stuffing as a regular side if I went to a restaurant.
That was early Brilliantly Dumb show days. I would talk about stuffing
Remember that?
a lot. Yeah, good memory,
Joe,
Dick.
Joe, my mother-in-law makes this artichoke pie.
Really?
It's like with melted
Is
mozzarella.
it like a
inside.
spinach pie kind of?
Yeah, but just artichoke.
Yeah, but I'm saying it's got the same
With
savory
the
kind
with
of
the cheese in it.
Yes.
It's so good that like I could eat the entire pie.
You know
That's
what
how
else is good, Mikey? Like it's not pie, but it's close as like a good quiche is so good.
Oh, good
as
quiche
well.
is great.
Good quiche
is
goes a
great.
long way.
Yep. Well,
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be having Thanksgiving at Bob's parents.
Yeah,
Is
Joe's
that
coming.
right?
Yeah, Joe and Nicole are coming
Yeah.
for
oh,
Thanksgiving.
that's gonna be
gonna be-
unbelievable
Oh,
content,
let
man.
me tell
That's
you.
gonna be unbelievable.
This
content.
The
guy-
cast of characters, man.
this
between
guy's
his
gonna
dad
have Joe's gonna have a camera in his face the entire holiday.
I
He's not
can't
gonna
wait
be
to
able-
see the fit. What's the Thanksgiving fit gonna be?
Oh,
like,
he's
Joe?
gonna come on
probably a
with
sweater.
that
sweater.
cashmere, dude.
I don't have cashmere. Don't stop.
Yeah.
Cable knit.
Yeah, man.
50,000
I
thread
I am a big sweater guy in the fall. I think
Mhm.
a good sweater goes a long
That's
way,
right.
dog.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
All right.
Good
Me,
sweater goes a long
me
way.
and Joe got to go play Grant Horvat for YouTube golf. We're gonna get fucking rocked.
Well, no, Bob, we're probably from the fronties.
Yeah, that's true. All right. All right. Without being said, have a great Thanksgiving. We are very appreciative for you all. That has been another edition, the Brilliantly Dumb Show. Have a great holiday. Mikey, you
Happy
got something?
Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving,
Happy
everybody.
Thanksgiving all. We
Love you,
love you
boys.
from the Brilliantly Dumb Show.